What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Want to talk to you today on the podcast about my thoughts around national parks and why they close during government shutdowns. Now, we haven't had a government shutdown in a while. It's about time we do. I just love a good government shutdown. But one of the things that I've always noticed happens here is that when the government shuts down, we always close the national parks. Now, this is not some anti-government rant or something like that, but I was just thinking, like, why do they close down? Now, you might be saying, well, Pete, if the government shut down, there's no money to pay the park rangers and the staff of the facilities and the utilities and all that stuff. Well, I get that, but as far as I can tell, the national parks, that land, that beautiful earthly land that you go and enjoy, has been around for a lot longer than they have ever been designated as national parks. And part of the reason they're designated national parks is that they are supposed to stay pristine, kind of stay untouched, right? Stay wild, just like this guy. And one of the things that means is that you don't need anything, right? They're just supposed to stay the way they always have been. Now, national parks obviously have been managed. So they put in boardwalks and trails and signs. They put in bathrooms, loos, toilets for my international viewers. And they have rangers to keep you safe and, different attractions and gift stores and lodges and roads and trash collection and all these things that they provide for that mere $20 a person or $70 a car or whatever park you're going to in their pricing structure. So it's a pretty good deal. But the thing that I was thinking about is, let's say there's no funding for it, right? So no one's emptying the garbage bins, the dumpsters. No one is emptying the toilets. No one is managing or maintaining the roads. You go there, you get in trouble. There's no park ranger to splint your leg and put you on an ATV out of there. It's all on you. But isn't that then just like any kind of wild open land? And so to me, if the government shuts down, they should just open the gates, but it's all at your own risk, right? And there are no amenities. There's no place to ask, what are the good attractions? Or can I get a map? Or, I need to take a little bit of a number 2. Where's the cleanest one around here? Or, hey, a bear broke into my car. Who do I report that to? You know what? Tiniest violin. It's just like going out into the wild. But to me, if there's no money, they should still be open. I mean, let's say the park staff, the national park staff got cut anyway, or the budget got cut anyway. Would they just close down every national park? You'd have to do what you need to do with less. And in some cases, if they didn't fund anything and there were no roads to upkeep and there were no rangers to pay for and garbage, some of that stuff might be a mess. We might have some party poopers who go in there and leave traces, not leave no trace, but leave many traces. And so that would be a bummer, but that's just how it would be. So I feel like even if there's no money, the government shuts down, the budgets get cut, those gates should still be open. They shouldn't be blocked off. The government doesn't own it per se. I mean, they kind of do, but the people own it. The taxpayers own it. So that's our land. And I get for that extra money, you're getting all of these other things that make it more civilized, make it more visitable, make it easier on us as tourists to go to these places. But aside from that, if those aren't around, if those aren't available, well, the land should still be available. The park should still be available. The mountains, the vistas, the bubbling and babbling brooks. They could be either, bubble, bubble, or babble, babble. All of the wildlife there, right? So anyway, to me, that's just my thought. That's just my opinion. But to me, many of these parks should still be open. I mean, like I said, it's at your own risk. You die, you get eaten, you get injured. You're going to have to self-evac. You're going to have to find some of your own help. You're going to have to pay for services that might come in and get you out of there. You might have to pay the deductible on your car, or, there aren't any rangers to scare off the bear that's eating your interior, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or just a hungry Asian guy. But, that's just kind of like the wilds. You go up to parts of Alaska. Heck, I grew up in parts of Michigan. Yeah, and all sorts of critters chewing and gnawing on your stuff. There was no guarantee that wouldn't happen. So anyway, just my thoughts. National parks, government shutdowns, no money. To me, the default should be, hey, if there's no money, those gates are open. Go, visit, enjoy at your own risk. That's it. Peter Von Panda, out.